welcome back to Big Jake's Garage. You guys like Polaris wedges? I like Polaris wedges, and I'm sitting on a Polaris wedge right now, and a really crappy Polaris wedge. So let me go and show you what we got here. 1995 Polaris XLT Special with a horrendous paint job. This thing is just ugly. I know some of you are gonna be like, oh, that paint job's cool. I hate it. I'm sorry. I think it's just like horrible. It's like peeling up down here, all that. I got a replacement nose cone and hood for it, and next summer I'm gonna go and just pressure wash all that, peel that paint off. But anyways, I picked this thing up for, I don't know, $200 like 2 years ago, and the motor was locked up on it. So my idea at the time was like, oh, it's going to be a part sled. It's nice. It's got electric start and reverse on it. What ended up happening was I'm like, well, even though it's like, it's got this horrendous paint job, just look at it. It's just, it's bad. I'm sorry. It's an eyesore. I know I drove it today, but I was like, man, if I got caught driving this, I don't know. It's just bad. I hate it. But anyways, I picked up a motor to go and put in this, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, it's locked up, but can we unlock it? So that's what I did. I took a 6-foot breaker bar, put it in the clutch, and the motor broke loose. And it took a lot. I lifted myself off the ground and bounced on it, and she broke loose. But here, I'll show you what's underneath the hood. Oh, and not only do you think this is bad, look at this. They painted the head cover yellow. Who does that? You know, I don't know. This thing is just, it's horrible. It's horrible. But anyways, I picked it up. We broke it loose, and it ran. It fired up. It ran. It had 125 in all cylinders, and it still does. I just checked them. But it made, oh dude, this thing made noises when I fired it up. But anyways, enough with the whole backstory on it. I just took it out for its kind of maiden voyage. I just went a little ways out of town and came back, and it ran okay. Oh, I'll come over here. So coming up to the coolant jug, it was really foamy. It had like a lot of foam in there, which tells me that probably a head gasket is bad. But it's got 125 pounds. Oh, it's not foam in there now. Is there foam in there? Yeah, a little bit. But it's got 125 in all cylinders. So I don't know if it's like almost a base gasket. I don't actually know where it could push out on this motor. I mean, yes, a head gasket, but I don't know if a base gasket would do the same thing. I checked the cylinders. I didn't really see coolant in the cylinders, but I think it's not really sucking it in because it didn't eat any of the coolant. It actually was been at this level. I went, 5-10 miles out of town, and it remained there. It just got like really foamy. So it still could be, I guess, a head gasket. But anyways, enough with the chit chatter. I'm going to go and replace the head gaskets on this. Oh, and then not only that. Okay, pull this out. This is the dipstick for your chain case oil. Now, I don't know about you guys. Here, we got a little bit there. It doesn't really look like normal chain case oil. And I took it out for its ride. I came back and I pulled the dipstick, and I had a bunch of shavings on it. And it had a strong smell of 80-90. I'm like, this thing's got gear lube in it. Gear lube? Who puts gear lube? Who puts 80-90 in your chain case? Why? Why would you do that? I just don't think this guy was really much of a snowmobile. Oh, and to make matters worse, I was checking the trunk, right? And I pulled the oil out. I got it in the garage here. Look at this. He was running Royal Purple 040 in this thing. Who does that? Why would you put normal motor oil in your snowmobile? And now I was thinking, well, maybe it's something I didn't know, right? Maybe you could do that. And I looked it up, and the only thing I could find online was people running 0-40 in their 4-stroke snowmobiles and not their 2-stroke snowmobiles. So I'm like, oh, you know, maybe that's why it locked up too. I don't know. And I mean, this thing was locked tight. But yeah, here you have it. My $200 piece of crap. I mean, it's just an eyesore. But you know what? We're going to get this thing running again. Well, I mean, it runs, but we're going to get this thing like reliably running again. And hopefully the motor doesn't grenade on us once we get it running. But that's all I got for you. The next video will be pulling or tearing into it and seeing what else it needs. I know it's going to need some carburetor work. And I don't know if you guys can see, but the boots are really dry rotted on this thing. So we're going to need a set of carb boots too for this thing. But I got an XL parts sled out back that we're probably going to route parts off of. And I know that has new head gaskets. Now I know you're not supposed to take one, you know, once they're squished, that's it. But maybe we'll try it. Maybe we'll see. I mean, it's just a cheapo sled. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know, I think it'll be a good project. So anyways, you guys have a great New Year's or heck, whenever this video comes out. Have a great day, guys. So we'll see you in the next one.